can also see them. And I want a lot of interaction from you in this session. Okay, good morning, students. This is Dr. Mukul Jain, and I'm here to present you my session, that is Movies Today, or in other words, movies and management, how we can relate management concepts with movies, or how we can find some learnings from the movies also. And we will also be talking about the contemporary movies as well as older movies, comparison between them, what is the difference which you see in uh, uh, past movies and today's present movies. Okay, so movies, I think, today at your age, everybody enjoys movies, isn't it? You all must be feeling relaxed after seeing the movies. And gone are the times when we used to stand in the queue to buy tickets. When I was in my school and college, those were the times in 80s, and also when we were very small kids in 70s. At 80s, people had a craze to watch a movie on the first day itself, when the movie is released, that is on Friday. So first day, first show. So many times the students used to bunk their classes and go and see the movies. And especially I remember when we used to go and see Amitabh Bachchan movies, there used to be a huge queue. And sometimes we had to buy tickets in black. We had to pay the premium. And many times some of the people I know, they had also to, they have also been hit by the policemen lathis also, because of the huge queues and all. So those were the times. Because television was very limited in those times, only Doordarshan used to be there. Now there are so many channels, and now there are Netflix, there is Amazon, there is Jio. So many platforms are there. You can download the movie, you can see the movie 24/7, all the new movies also, right? So what is your experience of movies? Yes,
Sir,
anybody,
it's an
please?
part of aspiration.
Sorry.
It's an part of inspiration.
Yes, sometimes, not every time. It's sometimes some movies do inspire you, but some movies may not inspire you. Some movies are just, yes, for entertainment itself, pure entertainment. And some movies, neither there will be any entertainment nor there be any inspiration. Even if you are seeing in your home, you're not paying anything. Even then, it's very difficult to pass even 2.5 hours. Some movies are so boring, isn't it? Doesn't it happen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Always
sir.
happens.
Yes, sir.
Right, right. So therefore, let me present this. Uh, okay. First of all, I have to share my slides with you. So let me share my slides with you. I'm sharing my screen. Uh, well, before sharing my screen, uh, let me share with you people that I was very crazy for movies when I was in school, then in college, and I still remember all the movies of 70s and 80s. And I did my engineering in mechanical engineering. Then I did my post graduations in management, and that too also I did 2 3 post graduations in different domains of management, and then various certification, and then a PhD also in management. Now, since the past 20 years, I haven't seen much movies in the movie halls. It has been very much restricted since the past 20 years. But of course, I've seen movies on televisions, but there also, I've seen movies, some good movies only. So I don't see all the movies now. So I see movies in bits and pieces. Sometimes it is being played in the house, so somebody is seeing, so I pass on in that room. So that way, but I do have some knowledge of the current movies. Probably you will be having more knowledge of the current movies. Okay. No, I hope you are able to see this slide on the
Yes, sir.
screens.
Yes,
Learning
sir.
management through
Yes, sir.
movies.
Yes, sir.
So what we are saying is over here that movies are not just an indulgence anymore. They have found a place in the toolkit of trainers for imparting learning effectively, and students learn to work better by watching movies. I have been a trainer also. I have done a lot of corporate trainings. There, you can't just talk about the course, you, because these people are experienced people. So many times you have to make your sessions entertaining also. So many times we show them the clippings from the movies to drive out our point, right? So therefore, in our classes also, if we can use some examples from movies, from politics, from everyday life, it makes the session interesting, and the students can relate quickly to the concepts. So that is why we are saying it offers an easy way of learning concepts through visual imagery. This helps people remember stories and allows for higher and longer retention of ideas, values, and concepts. If we ask you, what was taught in your lecture, or sometimes if we ask the students what you have studied in your graduation, in your first year, in your first semester or second semester of your graduation, or third semester, which were the subjects, most of you will not remember them. Even after coming out of the lecture, you will not remember. But many times you will remember the movie, even if you have seen it. And there is a difference. If you see a movie in a movie hall, in a bigger screen, you remember the movie for many years. But if you see a movie on your mobile phone or on a television set, many times you tend to forget it. It has happened with me. I don't know whether it has happened with you or not. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No, no. Okay.
No,
Okay.
sir.
So we know that what is management. Management. One way of saying management is that some people say that management is an art of getting things done through people. How to get things done from people. So movies uh, give us fantasies, etc. So management education throws us real life problems, which unlike in the movies we may never able to set right. So many times we say that these things happen in movie, it doesn't happen in the real world. But nowadays a lot of biographies are also being made. And when I'm seeing today's movies, I'm seeing a lot of difference in today's movies. Since the past 2-3 months, since we are working from home, there is a lockdown period, so I happen to see some movies on Amazon and on Geo platforms, etc. So I'm seeing a lot of change. Just guess what is that change which I am going to talk. Yeah, I've just minimized the slide. Uh, just guess what is the change. You must also have seen movies, movies which were made 10, 15 years back or 20 years back, and movies which are made today. Yeah, please give me response, because this session is a short session. Quickly.
So they are more realistic.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I'm finding them more realistic. More, they are showing more small town stories, small town middle class stories they are showing, and they are showing the accent of that particular area. For example, recently, Luka Chippy. I saw one movie, Luka Chippy, which has this new hero. What is that hero? Kriti Sanon and
Karthikeyan. Karthikeyan.
Karthikeyan.
Karthik Aryan. Yes, yes. So that story, the background was of Mathura. So they have captured the language of Mathura, how the accent, how the dialect of Mathura is shown. They will show middle class families, joint families kind. So very real characters. Earlier, the characters were, either they will be very royal characters, or they will be very poor. There will be a villain, there will be a hero, heroine, there will be songs in the garden or in a hill station. So no more these songs are there. Today, if you see English movies, Today, or from the time memorial, in English movies do not have songs like that. That hero is singing the song in actual world. Do we sing song and the music plays in the background? It doesn't happen, no, in actual world. But what happens in Hindi movies? Hero heroine are singing the song in the garden, in the hill station. There is no one around, and music is being played. Nowadays, this change has also. I'm watching this change also in some of the movies. The songs are played in the background. There is no more lip synchronization of the hero and heroine in some of the movies I've seen recently.
Sir, I have a question
For example,
regarding.
yes, yes, yeah.
Sadru Naik here. Good morning, sir.
You
Yes,
are
sir.
Dhruv.
So, sir,
Okay.
regarding this, that the films are become more realistic in today's time, sir. So, as we know, the
Yeah.
web series have also gained much prominence for since last few years, right?
Hmm.
And those series are known
Yes.
to represent the reality in most of the cases. So, is that also a factor that played into films becoming more realistic at the moment?
See, I would slightly disagree with this because I have also had a chance to watch some of the web series. Web series, not all web series are that realistic. Some of the web series are based on just fantasies. They have just transferred the plot of the films to the web series. So, and I'm sorry to say that a lot of I don't want to use this word. A lot of violence and a lot of sex is also being displayed in these web series, which is not realistic. Which doesn't happen in real in reality. Uh, because if the youth with an immature mind sees them, he or she will be thinking this must be happening in the real world. This doesn't happen in the real world. So I disagree on this point. And to that aspect, even films also are not displaying 100% reality. In some cases, like they are capturing the dialect, they are capturing the characters characterization, the dresses, maybe realistic to some extent, but the way they are displaying the intimacy between a boy and a girl may not be always be that true in Indian context, because India has not become so advanced as is being displayed in the movies or in the web series. Still, we are traditional society. There may be exceptions here and there, maybe in some kind of society, but that particular small society, which is a very very small subset, it doesn't represent the whole India. So there I am. I disagree, and I disagree with these kind of movies and web series. Even I have got my parents, although I am a generation higher than you, but still, when we can't watch such movies and such kind of web series with our family members. So even today, when I am a matured person, I may have nephews and nieces of your age. Uh, I cannot play such movies. Like my parents are also there now in today's lockdown times. But I play movies of 70s and 80s before them, because you never know where a particular scene will come, and you feel very uh, it's a very
Awkwardness.
very kind of a situation. Yeah, very embarrassing kind of a situation. Yeah, so there I have a disconnect with today's kind of movies, which is not reality, I would say.
Agreed, sir. My
I
question, sir, was more based
how
on
much
the.
you agree with me, I don't. Yeah.
Sir, yes, after you,
See, the kind of violence which is being shown in some web series is not, it's may not be always may not be happening in the real
explain.
world. So that I'm saying, not 100% of the web series. We cannot say, exceptions are there. But yes, I saw just one episode of one web series called Panchayat. Just one episode, which is being displayed on this Prime TV. That is uh, that I found very interesting, where they are trying to show the village environment, the panchayats, how the pradhans operate. Yes, somebody who wanted to say something.
Yes, sir. It was me, sir. I agree with what you have said completely, sir. And my question was more based on things I hear from my friends and families because I don't watch web series or movies much personally. So,
Right. Okay. Okay. So coming back to my slide, I have management functions. For example, you must have studied in your graduation also, and in your 12th also, those who have come with a commerce background, you must have studied business studies. So planning, controlling, planning, organizing, controlling, these are the functions. So in planning and controlling, Titanic, uh, planning and controlling how in a case of a disaster, uh, the people had planned over there, the crew planned, although the planning was not successful in the end because the natural calamity was so high. So therefore, how to make a proactive plan beats a restrictive plan sandstorm. Sometimes uh, we also came to know that overconfidence can lead to mistakes. So there was an overconfidence in the crew members. Organizing, how to organize. Yes, I saw this movie Band Baja Barat. It was the initial movie of the hero Ranveer Singh. I think it was first or second movie of, and Anushka Sharma was there. So how they were event planners. So how did they organized the various events for their various clients, and they started afresh. It was a startup for both of them. So organizing in management refers to the relationship between people, work, resources. So how they made it as a successful venture with very limited resources, and both the partners had common goals. How to strategize. Again, it may not be the exact example, uh, but strategizing, there have been some movies where you can learn about strategies, how to identify various tools, etc. Leading leading Guru was one of the movies. Lagan was another movie. Chak De India was another movie where you found how to lead, how to have be a good coach, how to motivate people, how to handle crisis situations, how to handle disagreement between your members. So in the movie Guru was actually inspired by Dhirubhai Ambani. So although it was not a biopic as such, but the storyline was inspired by the life of Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani. So it showed power of ambition and vision, conflict and relationship, growth without principles, also value addition, changing your orbit, courageous corporate leader, negotiation skills, growth and speed, self-confidence. Staffing is another function of management, that how do you select your people, how you train them, how you identify their talents. The Lagan is a very good example for that. Yes. In Lagan, how they were faced with a very typical situation. The protagonist of the movie, which was played by Bhuvan, that is Amir Khan, when the Britishers told them that your Lagan, you have to pay the Lagan. That okay, if you can defeat us in cricket, we will forego your taxes. That is Lagan. Otherwise, you will have to pay the double. So Bhuvan, the chief protagonist of the movie, said yes. And all the other villagers were so dismayed and they were so flabbergasted by this. They said, how come we do not know anything about cricket? This is the game of the Britishers. And how you have said yes. So how he organized his people, how he convinced them, and how he found the right players. Right. So I have got a video, but the time is short. Otherwise, maybe next time I'll show you one of the video, one of the clipping from Lagan, that there was a person with a problem in his hand. So he said, when he asked uh, him, he placed this man at the extreme side of the fielding, and when he threw the ball went in the other direction. So the hero said, oh, he could be a good spinner. So he asked him to bowl. So swift bird catcher as a fielder, and spinner because of his arm twisting, the dependable as wicketkeeper. So this is the quality of a manager, of a leader, right?
Yes, sir.
Directing,
Yes, sir.
how to direct your
Yes,
people,
sir.
how to find them the direction so that the employees' goals are congruent with the goals of the organization. So Chak De India was a apt movie for that. How hard work, team spirit, right attitude, and common goals can uh, make you achieve your goals. So a leader who made them realize their potential. So again, a very good movie, for it's very inspiring movie. So interpersonal relationships. Munna Bhai MBBS, although it was a comedy movie, it had all the masala of a Hindi Bollywood movie, but still it had a very important message. Again, I have got a clipping with you. Maybe in the subsequent sessions we will play these clippings, wherein he gave a very important message to the doctors that you have to be humanistic also in your approach. You have to be you have to treat your patients with love, compassion, and affection, because half of the illness is because of that. And personally speaking, I have experienced that. I have had my experience with one of the doctor who was very, very rude. I came from another town. That time I did not used to live in Delhi NCR. I was in a town of UP. I was faculty over there in that college. I took an appointment with a doctor in Delhi, and he was so rude, my God. So I have had that experience. So therefore, I remember the scene in this movie when he hugs the person, a sweeper, and he said, every nobody gives you any praise, and in fact, you are doing the most dirty work in the hospital. So emphasis of human relations. Decisional roles, again, now so many biopics are being made. They are themselves very inspiring. So Mary Com was one such movie where they have shown how to have determination, ambition, and strength. And even a woman who is married having kids can excel in boxing. Nobody can think about that, and that too from a northeast uh, region of the country. Informational roles, now here, although it was Amitabh Bachchan played a negative role, but in the initial phase of the movie, his character was not defined. Afterwards, it was a suspense in the movie that he wanted to use them, these blind people, for his selfish ends. And then after interval, he played a villain. But how he uh, used the weakness of the blind people to to manage a dacoity in a bank. You must have seen this movie.
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes,
So
sir.
again,
Yes,
a
sir.
very unique type of a movie. So power of communication and information flow to the blind people. So how this was done, again, a very interesting movie. Management skills, again, technical skills, sales skills, and all, rocket science. Although I have not seen this movie, but I have heard a lot about this movie. That real time, how a salesperson, what kind of difficulties is being faced by a salesperson in the field. So customer focus, business ethics, uh, you learn about it in this movie. Human skills, again, Swadesh was again a very good movie, wherein it was stressed that a person should not forget his or her roots even after studying from a foreign country, and that too studying highly technical skills and space skills. This person tried to do some progress in the village, understood the problems of the village, like water problems and other problems. So take charge, take control, change management, how you can act as a change agent. Conceptual skills. Now, Tare Zameen Par was another very inspiring movie, wherein a person with a disability, a child, the teacher, the role of the teacher was stress over there. So how nobody wanted to accept that child, but how he transformed the life of this child. Right? Nikum was a teacher, Ram Shankar Nikum, Amir Khan, who infects the students with joy and optimism. He breaks all the rules of how things are done by asking them to think, dream, and imagine, and all the children respond with enthusiasm. all except Ishan. So Nikam soon realizes that Ishan is very unhappy and he sets out to discover why. With time, patience, and care, he ultimately helps Ishan find himself. Again, a very inspiring movie. So therefore, uh, okay, I'll just try to show you another slide. So this is another slide which is giving you the detail of Lagan, which is teaching you confidence, team building, how to build your team, family involvement, also willingness to win, do or die spirit. Jealousy was also there, ego handling was there, how to handle emotions of different people in your team. So ultimately, Bhagwan was another very good, nice movie, which again, people of second generation and third generation, it has been a lesson for them how to treat their parents. So we are also three brothers, and our parents are there. So now we fight among our brothers that who with whom our parents want to live. So in Bhagwan, it was shown that Amitabh Bachchan had four sons, but nobody wanted to keep them, and so they had to live. Amitabh Bachchan had to live with one son's family. The wife had to live with another son's family. But in our family, so there has been a lot of change in the social fabric after seeing this movie. So, so generation gap. The problem of generation gap was very well defined in this movie. Relationship management. Passion was another movie which I have seen in bits and pieces, wherein it was shown, how to handle success, especially for people in this profession. Uh, how people get corrupted. They have shown some negative things also in this movie, but it is a lesson that how you should not get corrupted to liquor. The girls' bad habits is a factor to rule out, willingness to come back and regain the bygone glory. So how to recover from depression, etc. So Desh, I have already told you. Gandhi, again a biopic. I mean, it goes without saying. For times to come, the Gandhi was released in the decade of 80s. I remember I was in the school, I saw this movie, and still this movie will always be an inspiring movie. Munna Bhai MBPS, we have just talked it about interpersonal communication, relationship, compassion in a profession. Chak De India, we have talked about Tare Zameen Par. Jodha Akbar, because of the historical nature and how Akbar also had a compassion in his mind. Waqt also uh, had a subject of human relationship, family relationships between son and the father. Veer Zara was another movie, that love knows no boundary. So even if it was a story of a boy from India and the girl from Pakistan, so again a very, uh, very sentimental movie which touched the chords of the people. Black was another movie which touched human capital management, and again a relationship between a teacher and the disciple, and role of the trainer. Lakshya was another movie that how the person got motivated and made his mark in the army. Wednesday also was a movie of Nasiruddin Shah and Anupam Kher, which told about mission and accomplishment, power of technology, killing instincts, delegation, empowerment. Earth, Kazini, corporate had a lot of negative things also about how politics is being played in the corporate. So again, shortcut to success. So sometimes when we see negative things being happening, that is also a learning that we should not emulate these things, because we see ultimately what is the consequences of that. uh, well, Om Shanti Om, Iqbal. Iqbal was also another movie. I have not seen it fully, but I intend to see it. How this, again, a coach, he prepares a boy to become a cricketer. So I have heard a lot about this movie, but I have not seen it full. But yes, I'll be seeing it. It's a very inspiring and motivating movie. Aake we have already told. Guru also we have told. Sarkar, the first version, handling conflicts, pressure management, unethical leadership, we came to know about, double standards and relationships. So sometimes when we see these things, we take a lesson that we don't have to emulate these things in our life. Mohabbatein as a movie, I started my academic career. Uh, when I started my academic career, Mohabbatein was released in the year 2000. So it has been 20 years now. And I remember at that point of time, uh, sometimes as a, this is my personal comments. These are my personal comments. Sometimes as a administrator, as a teacher, you should not be so much strict. You should be flexible for the student. So here it was shown that being very strict may have its own repercussions. So how he was very strict and his daughter committed suicide, and then Shah Rukh Khan was appointed as a teacher in that same college, and he encouraged the students to be more liberal and all. So I think it had a message that we should not be so much of disciplinarian that we forget the emotional aspect of relationships. Okay, so now so it was a short session. So I would like to know very quickly your uh, views about it, your quick responses, very quickly. Please, please, very quickly. And I'm not seeing anybody. Nobody has put on their videos. I was not able to see any of your faces. How many people are there? Oh, just 43 people are there. Oh, some chats are also there.
So,
For 3 years, shorter than earlier. On Dishum Dishum in Indian web series. Okay, right. Yes, yes. Somebody want to say something.
so I think Bahubali is also a very good example of consists of so many concepts like family conflicts when politics enters in family. Also, a lot of management one king has to do, a lot of aspects one king has to, someone who's leading a team has to keep in mind. So I think Bahubali is also a very good example of that.
Hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Your good name? Your good name?
So Veena.
Okay, yes, Veena. Yes, yes, you're right. Yes, if I remember, you're right. You know how family conflicts take place at that point when people become kings, and even in some movies based on politics, you have seen people who reach at the pinnacle of power. There, nobody cares about he's my brother or he's my mother. Anybody can get that person killed. So those things are also, they create a shivers in your spine. So these, some things are negative, but they also give you a lesson that at that point, at the pinnacle of power, the power should not go to your heads that you forget who is my brother, who is my cousin, who is my father. So those things are also there,
Right, sir.
and which we see in real world also. In real world also, in politics, nobody is near to anybody. We are seeing in, for example, in Rajasthan, a person who has been given the post of deputy chief minister,
Sachin
he's
Pilot.
the Sachin Pilot, he's the president of BJP in the state. Still, he's aspiring for chief ministership post. So for that, he can go to any extent.
Sir, he is the president of Congress, sir.
He's the
He-
sorry, he's the president of Congress party. I'm sorry, it was a slip of the tongue.
Yes.
And still, you are not satisfied. Such is the power. Such is the you know intoxication of power, I would say.
And sir, same thing also explained in the movie Rajniti also of Ranbir Kapoor and
Yes, yes, I remember that movie. Katrina Kaif and
yes,
Ranbir Kapoor. Absolutely, no. Uh, Mahabharata is a example of that. Mahabharata, it was between two brothers. One was Dhritarashtra and the other one, and they were all cousins only. And it was a Mahabharata between them. There was a movie based on Mahabharata. It was made by Shashi Kapoor, and it came in 1980s. The movie's name was Kalyug. The Kalyug is Kalyug. Kalyug's story was based on corporate fights, but it was a story. It was a story about family. It was a corporate family feud, but the whole idea was borrowed from Mahabharata.
So the
Again,
plot was mainly derived from Mahabharata.
yes,
And
this
the
is what
Shashi Kapoor was, you can say, in the role of Karn.
Karan, yes, Karan. I don't remember that movie. I've seen it when I was in school, but
Maybe it was directed by Mr. Shyam Benegal.
it was directed by Shyam Benegal. It was produced by Shashi Kapoor. It was produced by
Yes, sir.
Shashi Kapoor.
Yes, sir. I have seen that movie.
Impromptu, actually. I was not having this in mind, but since I talked about Mahabharata, immediately it came out of my mind, and now I will remember. I will see this movie on Mesa. I'll find this movie once again, because I only remember that there was a plot of Mahabharata, but I had seen it long back.
Sir, it is available on YouTube, sir.
It's available on YouTube. Okay. No, we have that connection, so we will see it on Amazon or other geo platforms also on a bigger television screen. So yes. So well, this was a small teaser with you people. So tomorrow you have another session with me. I think post lunch. We will be talking about time management. So we will be talking about, I will give you again these examples of some of the examples of movies, that how we have to manage our time. We have to do justice to our studies, to our job, to our professions. At the same time, we can also spend some time on entertainment, on watching movies, but it should not happen that we are spending all our time in watching movies only, or how we can be a multi-talented person. How we can also pursue our hobbies also at the same time, and at the same time we can also acquire highest qualifications. So we will talk about that in time management tomorrow. And then on Saturday you are having another session with me. I have taken a very interesting topic, which is 7 habits of highly effective people. So what are those habits which we can adopt in our lives to be a very effective person? So any other comments from you? Any other question? You have another session at 10 o'clock, I think.
Sir, Saturday's
Yes, sir.
lecture is anyway connected to Stephen Covey's book.
Yes, I have taken my inspiration from that book itself. It is my favorite book, so my sessions will be based on that. So I think you will all enjoy that session. Yes,
Okay,
you're right.
we surely will.
Yes,
Okay, sir.
right. So I will try to, whatever is there in the book, I will try to compress it and give you a summary in about an hour or hour and a half. Right, please. So hope to see you. Let us hope that this problem of corona goes away. We are really hearing a lot of negative news day in and day out. But how we have to keep ourselves positive, and we have to hope, we have to pray to the Almighty that this problem, which is there in all over the world, goes away, and we get a chance to meet you in person, in flesh and blood, and that way we'll be enjoying ourselves more, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So so next time we'll meet. I had a chance to hear you people on the very first day you introduced, but right now it has all got mixed up in the mind. So unless and until I see you, I'll not remember that. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for attending this session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
meet tomorrow. Okay, so you were talking to
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Mukul Jain. I'll be teaching you some other subjects also. Fine. Okay, bye.
Okay, sir.
Bye,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm stopping the recording right now.